at the ongoing International Handball Federation Women World Under-18 Handball Championship in China over the weekend. In an end-to-end match between both sides, Coach Shitu Agbola's Tuto team matched their Chilean opponents in the same number of shots and had a better shot efficiency than their previous matches, but they still fell short as they lost the first half 11-10 to the South Americans. Blessing Igbedion and Lucy Chicherem were the stars as Nigeria continued from where they left off against Angola, but they couldn't nick it. Nigeria will play Austria in another classification match tomorrow, so we'll see how that one will go. The first didn't go well with the guests, but we hope that they get this one done and dusted. But away from basketball, there's a basketball handball this morning. The twist of fate, Nigerian-born UFC fighter Israel Adesanya succumbed to a fourth-round submission loss to South African because Duplessis in their middleweight title showdown at the UFC 305 in Perth over the weekend. Despite losing on the scorecard heading to the championship round, Adesanya's dream of reclaiming the belt got shattered by what he described as a dumb mistake. Let me start with Miracle in the studio. Miracle, what do you make of the defeats this time for Israel Adesanya?
Personally, for me, I feel like it's a very disappointing one from the Stybender, as it's being called. You know, Israel Adesanya has been one of those formidable fighters when it comes to the Ultimate Fighting Championship over there. Unfortunately for him, it was not his day, as he was beaten and taken down by a better fighter on the night. You know, Duplessis has been one of those upcoming and those fighters in the UFC now that have been shining, as he's the reigning champion in the middleweight division. We know Israel Adesanya, this is the first time he's losing back-to-back games or back-to-back fights in his UFC career over there. So I feel like it's not a good one for him. I feel like he stayed away from the octagon a little bit too long, and fighting a man that has been on the octagon, that is fresh on the octagon, and having those wins in recent times, it came out to be a difficult one for Israel Adesanya. And age also has not been on Izzy's side. He's about 36 right now. So I feel like Izzy still has a couple of years to go fighting in the Ultimate Fight Championship. But for now, Izzy is not on his big form. He's not in his great form. So I see Duplessis still doing well in the coming fights that he has.
All right, so Gogo, let me get to you. I know you followed that one over the weekend. What really happened to Israel Adesanya? We understand, we saw how he was actually being held by Duplessis in that particular one, and he actually gave up. He actually submitted to the man. Unlike, you know, the style bender we used to know, talking about Israel Adesanya. What do you make of him, you know, submitting in that particular one we saw against Duplessis?
If you've never been held in a red-netted choke, it will look easy. If you're held there, it basically looks as if your life is being taken from you. And the best thing I will advise is that you submit. If you're held in a red-naked choke, just stop, because you don't want that feeling. There are other ones, E-clamp, B-clamp. Those ones, it will feel as if your neck wants to pop out of your body. That's how dangerous those chokes are, and this is what jiu-jitsu is made for. Wrestling, not for the control, but jiu-jitsu for the submission. But Israel Adesanya, he's had 1 year out of that's a problem. But at the same time, he didn't live on a high. For instance, when Judges St. Pierre left and he came back and defeated the Englishman, Bisping, you knew that he was coming in on that level. But for Israel Adesanya, he left on the low. And that his low was not, for instance, if he left when he fought Alex Pereira, and you saw what Alex Pereira had done in the UFC, you will understand that, okay, Pereira was the top dog and Pereira deserved to beat him out the rest. His loss to Sean Strickland is one of the most shocking losses we've seen in the UFC in the past few years. That's how bad the loss was. and he lost convincingly. Convincingly on home turf. Like, it was bad. And he took a break. Now, he's been an active champ. There was a point this Adesanya fought 5 times in 13 months or so. So he was too active, even as a contender and as a champion. So I can understand that taking a toll on you. What I didn't understand is at least keep one fight before going for the belt. Because that one fight, whether you like it or not, there's something called the ring rust. We see it in footballers. There is no footballer that is at 100% at the first match day of the season. No. Maximum you can see is 70 to 80. Because you've missed a couple of days of matches. You may be physically fit, but you're not match fit. Being away from the league for close to a year, and he's had to heal, his body's had to adjust. But at the same time, it was obvious that why this loss to Duplessis hurt is not just because of the things said in the past. It was because if Israel had more cardio, he would have won this fight. The first round was very close. The second round, I'll give it to Duplessis. But the third round was Israel because Israel was beginning to find range and it was beginning to do damage to Duplessis. In the striking department, I tell you the truth, Israel was outclassing him. Beautiful combinations. He was missing, unlike him, but the combinations were landing. Israel was hot into the body several times that week. Duplessis was feeling it. All of a sudden, the cream rises to the top. His wrestling, especially taking down defense. He saw a perfect example when the other African Francis Ngannou, his fight against Sirogan. He was missing the first 2 rounds. The first 2 rounds were done. He had lost. What happened? He went into Ngannou Nurmagomedov. Ngannou started wrestling. That was what I expected Israel to do. So as long as Israel is not working on his ground game, he is in trouble. Because what will happen is I'm looking at the division now, Ponikul is coming up. These other guys that are coming up, they are more wrestlers than they are strikers. Once they know they can't strike with you, they are going to wrestle. So the disappointment I have with Israel is if Israel Adesanya, if he fights the place every day, twice a Sunday, all of a sudden he's losing to you. It bursts because I'm disappointed. Not just because of the things that were said at the background about being a real athlete or not. This was, to me, last chance salute. The only way he gets the belt back is if he goes on the winning run. 2-3 wins, and based on his past work, he can come back. But for now, it looks like it's a downward slide. Him crying at the press conference was the second thing I had. I was looking for the fire. Every fighter has a fire in his eyes when he wants to fight. I was looking for it. I could see Israel struggling to stoke the fire. The tears in the press conference made me know something was wrong. And I was proven right. It was wrong, but at the same time, I knew something was not right. That's after the place that defended the belt against Sean Strickland. So that's an easy way for him to get, but he needs to get at least a win first. So how does he get a win? Fight a John Cannonier, fight a Paulo Costa, fight a Marvin Vittori maybe for the 4th time, or maybe defeat a Bonico. These guys that are below you, get 2-3 wins under your belt and put your back. Anthony Joshua did it. So Israel Adesanya can do it. What did AJ do when he lost? For the first time in Anthony Joshua's career, his fight against Jermaine Franklin was not of paper. But what did he do? He went on a rebuilding mission. Beat Franklin. He was supposed to fight Dylan White. He ended up filling in a name just because Dylan White failed the success. Beat Elenius. Beat Francis Ngannou. No, Elenius. But the man that gave Tyson Fury a whole lot of problem. The Swedish guy, the Swedish southpaw, and then fought Ngannou. So he has redeemed himself, and now AJ is fighting for the belt. Israel Adesanya can build himself on the same path and do the same. It is going to be difficult, but he has to do it. At the same time, he's saying he's coming to the end of his career. He's 35. He can fight till he's 40. Israel Adesanya is seen as someone that don't want to leave the game where the game has left it. He will want to leave the game at the top. So if I'm giving him a roadmap, win 2-3 fight for the belt. He has secured the fight. He has a dad that is an accountant. that ensure his money, the deals he had, the sponsorship, everything has given him enough money. Putting this, set yourself a 4-fight target. But the fourth fight you're fighting for the belt, you win it, you retire on a high, you become the first UFC 3-time middleweight champion, you retire and you go. But he can bounce back. But he would need to do more than he did on Sunday.
All right, Gogo, so many person thinks, it is actually the end of an era for African UFC fighters. You talk about the likes of Kamaru Usman, who has not been at his best for some time. Israel Adesanya also coming up. And we've seen Francis Ngannou, how he's also struggled in boxing, and now I think he said he's coming back, to UFC. Do you think in that direction, is it actually the end of an era for these fighters?
I'll say we missed a circle. And the reason why I said we missed a circle is the UFC, they are making arrangements to set up a performance institute in Africa. They didn't do that, especially when we had the 3 kings. So I would say they missed that circle. But the truth of the matter is they said that it's so that one time, whether you like...
I don't think so. There's still a long way to go. Easy is just 35, and he still have about 2-3 years to go. If he still maintains that his previous form, I feel like he could still go into some title challenging bouts, facing the likes of Duplessis.
All right, so let's see how it goes. I don't know if we have to go back to hear from him. All right, Gogo, can you finish up?
Yes, so for UFC fighters in Africa, it's a step in the right direction for us. We will always remember that there was a time we had the 3 kings. Yes, we didn't get UFC Africa, but it is not the end. They are instead a new generation of fighters that are coming into the UFC thinking, now, I'm looking at the roster. We have a couple of Africans. For the 2 Nigerians and Sadi, Kennedy in Zinchuku, I think those are the 2 Nigerians. We have Bambo, the guy that the Rock, the guy that lost to Pantoja and Figueroa, I think. At the point, you have 2 male champions and 1 female. But they used it immediately. Performances, if you go now, they have to fight in Mexico. We would have done the same thing when we had the 3. The organization has missed the boat. What Francis is going to do to PFL Africa now is a step in the right direction. Believe me, in the next 5-6 years, you will see champions arising from Africa contending for belts in the world of mixed martial and maybe even boxing also.
All right, sir. Forward for himself, but away from UFC this evening, Arina Sabalenka defeated world number 1 Iga Swiatek for the first time this season to reach the Cincinnati Open final. The pair had met twice before in 2024 at the finals of the Madrid Open and the Italian Open, but Sabalenka lost in both tournaments. Over the weekend, after failing to convert 9 match points against German Zverev, but battled through a hip problem to advance the American Francis Tiafoe today for the chance to win his 5th.
12 years for this, so drink it in. Still goes to what he'd love to be immortality as an athlete. 19.79, it's a goal, it's 8 goals.
Network, and of course it's time for me to talk football. Miracle Edo Queens, of course, they're doing something great. They've actually put up some impressive performance over the weekend, and getting past, of course, their opponents, talking about Edson Sele 1-0 in that encounter, and now they've made it through this time around. I don't know.
Actually unbeaten so far. Congratulated the girls on their performances and giving them thumbs up and telling them to perform, to improve in their performances henceforth. And moving to the next round is a good one for Nigerian football. The Waffle Zone B competition is not just an easy competition, and I feel like it will give the girls exposure and to give them the momentum also. By winning this game, they have the momentum on moving to the next round and to perform better.
Let's see it go. Gimba Ajiji to salvage the result. It ended 1-1 draw between Academy Warriors and DJ FC. What do you make of the result? The head coach saying that they didn't have enough preseason games.
Yeah, I want to agree with him a bit because sometimes lack of adequate playing time might make those players not to be match fit enough on competing in CAF tournaments, and you need to be match fit to compete in these CAF tournaments. Playing at home and having a 1-1 draw in your first game is not so quite a good result going forward. So I feel like currently now they have a slim chance of qualifying to the next round, but the coach should encourage his boys and they should look forward to the next game and how they should look forward on how they should grind the results in their next game, because going away to play and knowing fully well that the away go rule still stands in African football, and it will be a big milestone for them to climb. So I feel like the coach should do all it takes in making those players match fit enough in competing in their next second leg encounter.
All right, Gogo, let me talk about the CAF Champions League for Nigerian teams. We have two representatives in the CAF Champions League. One is Remo Stars. They played against Asfa FC.
It's a good one that is a win.
Victory for Enugu Rangers Miracle against Zilimaju FC. A 1-0. You think is a good result for Enugu Rangers going forward in the next encounter?
Yeah, a 1-0 is a good result. Although they played them away from home, but the game was actually played in the Godswill Apabio Stadium at Uyo. Due to the fact that their opponents didn't have an adequate stadium pitch to play that game in. So the Rangers team actually led the tie by a 1-0 win. Coach Fidelis Ilekchukwu came out to say that his team actually played well, and he was encouraged by the performance of the team. But they actually missed a lot of chances, which would have made them to maybe take a 2-0 or a 3-0 lead in that first leg encounter. And the other leg will be played this week. So I feel like they have an advantage due to the fact that their opponents are still going to be coming to Uyo to play again for the second leg encounter. So 1-0 is a good one for the Enugu Rangers team.
Good one for Enugu Rangers. We hope they do the needful in the next encounter. Let's stay away from the continental games down here in Africa as we take a look at what's happening down there in Europe. Gogo, we got to report this afternoon that Thierry Henry has resigned from his position as France under-21 manager after leading his country to a silver medal at the 2024 Olympic Games. What do you make of it? Thierry Henry resigning. Do you think this is a good one for the man?
Yeah, I think if you're the France youth team coach, you know that you have an abundance of plethora of talents to work with. Like, talent plays. But at the same time, we knew that he was not going to be there for long. Now, I'm surprised he's leaving by this time. But he is one of the best goal scorers the English Premier League I've ever seen. He's one of the best goal scorers I've seen. So when that type of player is your coach and you can see him in training, nowadays we have this breed of young managers that go into coaching. And you see them on the sidelines, they want to be involved. Henry is also doing the same. They know that they can't play anymore, but they're very active. So you can sponsor okay. Any club football that will be getting Henry as a coach will be getting a good coach. He would be up to, by the end of this year, we hear something, he's gone back to a club side football. Maybe not in Europe, but he can go back to coaching in America. Because I think he was coaching a team there during around COVID-19 period. Then he had to leave for personal reasons. So not surprised, but at the same time also need to be surprised based on the timing. But he has done a good job with the first national team to give Silver. So wishing him the best for his next endeavor. But I know in Henry will be active again, coaching his side before next year.
All right, Miracle, let's start away from Thierry Henry as we take a look at the performance of some teams in the top 5 leagues in Europe over the weekend. Manchester City secured their first 3 points in the new season at Stamford Bridge, defeating Chelsea 2-0 in that game. 2 goals in either half from Erling Haaland, and former Chelsea midfield maestro Matthew Kovacic was enough to give the Premier League defending champions Manchester City their first win of the season. Impressive display you see for City, but for Chelsea, a lot of expectation from them, looking at how they've actually gone in terms of getting new players and getting a new manager. What do you make of that performance, especially with the new manager Enzo Maresca yesterday?
Yeah, we saw that game yesterday over there in London at Stamford Bridge, with the Citizens starting their title defense on a high note by defeating the London team by 2-0. But the result does not tell the whole scenario on how the game went yesterday. Because in the first half of that game, I feel like Chelsea were the best to play from behind. But the issue now is, can Chelsea play the kind of football Enzo Maresca wants to play? The philosophy of the coach, can he imprint that kind of philosophy on his players? We know that the likes of Cole Palmer have been the star boy for that team. The kind of performance he had last season, providing goals, scoring goals, and providing a lot of assists. But I feel like going forward, Chelsea has to sign a quality number 9, a quality top striker, a prolific striker for them to go forward, because they can't have the likes of Nicolas Jackson, the likes of Christopher Nkunku, the likes of Enzo.
Alex Ferguson says that my attack will win you games, defense will win you titles. What is this Chelsea team built for? With all the money spent, there's no one quality goalkeeper that it says for 10 in the world in this position. The Chelsea have that no. With all the money spent, do you have one quality defender? If you're calling top 10 defenders in the Premier League last season or this season, you would call any Chelsea defender. With all the quality spent, will you call with all the money spent, any midfielder that they spent money the best top 10 in the league? No. The same thing goes for the attack. And you want a player like Vito Osimhen to go there to reach his career. They are not doing football, they are doing monopoly business. They do buy today, sell tomorrow, bring this one on loan. But now you're looking at the players coming in, but also look at the way they are treating players, treating their captain, treating Ryan Sterling, treating Chalobah. The place full. Chelsea is full. No, Osimhen, please, we beg you, don't go near Chelsea. Either you stay, find out if Arsenal are not coming in for him, stay at Napoli. Better clubs will come, or maybe PSG. But Chelsea is a no-no for now. If they sort out that mess of the record that is going on there at Cobalt. Because you can't see a career pathway for yourself. What are Chelsea's objectives? I put it to you, even though I have the man that I call Eric Ten Hag as my favorite to be sacked, and Ruth Van Nistelrooy would replace him. Enzo Maresca, I won't be surprised this is gone by the end of the season. Because that's how peaceful their recruitment and their strategy. You've made all that to Osimhen, please don't go there. Stay in Napoli. Your career will thank you for you.
All right, let's see how it goes. We'll keep our fingers crossed and see what comes up in the coming days. Will Osimhen be moving down to Chelsea? Let's see how.
Now, he didn't drop anybody, but taking up Gerard Quansah sent a message It was a simple message. We're not winning our duels. She brought in people Konate, and Liverpool started winning the duels, and they started to defense and attack. He said it was not just the defense, everybody in attack, but deep down, taking out points was the message. So he looks like a lovely, bubbly fella, but at the same time, he knows how to drag the bull by the horn by saying, this thing is not going in my direction. I'm not going to pity party about it. I'm going to leave the nail on the head. Once I could see talking on the bench, he's going to have to learn to deal with it. But it's a step in the right direction because the players that Jurgen Klopp makes so comfortable as a father figure in the dressing room will know that this man is not here to play. He's good, but he's here to win games. If you will not help him win games, he will push you outside. So I would say it's a very good start to it, and it's not error. When they begin to play the top 16, that's how we give to assess where they are. I would say from pre-season till now, he's done a relatively good job, but not the Premier League has for him.
All right, Arsenal, of course, got past Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-0, and also Everton, they lost to Brighton and Hove Albion 3-0, and Newcastle United beat Southampton by 1-0. Nottingham Forest played 1-draw against Bournemouth. West Ham United, they lost to Aston Villa by 2-1, and Manchester United beat Fulham by 1-0. Miracle Joshua Zirkzee, of course, getting his first goal in the Premier League in that encounter.
Yeah, Joshua Zirkzee, a fantastic player from Bologna that Manchester United acquired during this summer transfer window. There's no better way to announce yourself to the Premier League by coming up from the bench and scoring the winner on your debut. I feel like he's a good player, and He actually contributed to that game by coming to the midfield to collect those balls. I feel like he's a player that loves carrying the ball. He has a high ability of ball carriage. So I feel like he's a good signing for Manchester United. Manchester is the better team in that game, but then they actually wasted a lot of chances. The likes of Garnacho, he missed an open goal. The likes of Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro as well. So I feel like they were wasteful in front of goal. Fulham as well had their own chances as well, but they were also wasteful.
Earlier, bringing Adegula and the other man to freshen the legs up a little earlier, but the subs were made a little too late, so they couldn't get a desired change that he wanted. It's not the end of the world, it's just match they won, but at the same time, this goes to show you never write off anything. And one of the things I also noticed was how there was a front three, but everybody wanted to play from the left field. Don Carlo, as a legendary manager, if he drops if he hands his gloves today, say he's not coaching anymore, he's leaving the sideline, he's going down as one of the greatest in the of every generation. But at the same time, he needs to find a way to make the balance. They all love the first three position. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo. At the point, the three of them were camped there. It is not going to work. And better teams, tactically prepared managers will take advantage of that. But it was a good